First of all, let me say congratulations to the participants of this great opportunity. You know, you've worked hard, you were diligent in your pursuit, and that's what excites us. You had a vision, you had a dream, and you weren't ashamed to ask for help. That's how it begins. When you can reach out to somebody and say, you know what, I need help. I need somebody to help me harness my vision and things I'm seeing, but I don't know how to put them on paper. And that's what excites us, when you can take from what the unseen, we want to know what you see, from the abstract to the reality. And today is that day. So congratulations for starting something and finishing it through. But I also want to say that today is not the end. If you don't win, it doesn't mean it's over. It's just begun. Your journey is powerful. Your journey is empowering, and it's inspirational. That you could take something and you could believe in yourself, despite the haters you may have faced, because we all have haters, right? And we all know what a hater is. But in this room, there are no haters. There are celebrators. People who are celebrating you to see it through, from top to finish, from finish to the beginning, no matter what it takes. You are surrounded by people in the world of TYRO. For those of you who don't know what TYRO is, it's a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior. And you are warriors. And with that being said, congratulations, and let's get this party started.
So our very first presenter tonight is Bobby, and he's got a phenomenal idea. And so Bobby, come on up here. We'll just be straight away. I'll start the presentation.
My name is Bobby Johnson. I am the co-founder and the software developer of SoftPoint Software. And we are a medication management software with a health portal. Remember to take your medication is a thing that a lot of people forget to do. They have multiple challenges as far as remembering multiple drugs and prescriptions. If you have a lot of drugs and prescriptions, it's kind of tough to remember. Question is did I take my medication? Which one did I take? And what does the pink one do? Show of hands of anybody who takes medication. Okay. Yeah. The statistics suggest that you're going to take more than one over a period of time as we get older. So I have a story. My wife is diabetic. And as a result, she's had a lot of incidents where she's been hospitalized. And for that reason, we just finished, just a month and a half ago, she was in the hospital after a stroke. She's diabetic, and we struggle all the time with that disease. Here's what we've done. RX Web Cloud is a program to help you remember to take your medication. And I'm going to get on this side. It is persistent, consistent alarms. We also connect with your digital assistants, Alexa and Google. We also have SMS reminders, which will text you to let you know when to take your medication. The next one down here I'm going to point to is the care team. So if you have a family member who's taking medication, you have to watch them. This is what this product is for, the care team. In other words, it'll alert you if they've taken their medication, if they haven't. Here's the niche. The niche market here is diabetics and hypertension. Hypertension, if you don't control that, the #1 cause of death in the United States is strokes and heart attack. Hypertension is a big, big problem. Diabetes, of course, we know, big, big problem. So this software will help in that particular aspect to help them to remember to take medications and their education with health education. Okay, so we've partnered with Amazon Web Services. They've given us $16,000 in credit and we're applying for $100,000 in credit to bring the product nationwide. We've also partnered with a number of these guys, Samsung, Google, Apple, and we hope to get the product in the Apple Store. This is our team. This is a really important piece here. I'm going to mention Dr. Pope. She is part of our team. She's a pharmacist, and we thought we'd add her on simply because it just helps to validate our product. I'm asking for $20 to $50,000 to finish up the app and to get some equipment, because we need to get that Mac equipment done. And these are some of the numbers that we're looking at. Possibly, for example, 10,000 subscribers. These are individual subscribers at a monthly rate of $3.99. And as a result, comes out to be $39,000 in income. That's if we have the pre-seed amount. We're looking to get a pre-seed and Series A soon after this. So one of the things I want to do, just thank you, is we've got a beta test that we have to deal with. And that beta test is one of those things that you can help us with. By signing up for a beta test, you can help us to kind of say, okay, this product is going to work, or some features that we've missed. So we'd like to have you sign up for that beta test. Now, I do have an Alexa demo. I don't know if I have time. Yeah. So the Alexa demo is the connection that we have with Alexa. And as a result, I'm going to say, Alexa, open Take My Meds. Alexa, open Take My Meds. Alexa, open Take My Meds.
Hi there, Bobby. Let's make sure we stay healthy today by taking your medication. Would like me to update your Xweb Cloud app? You have 6 of 7 things left in morning checklist. Would you like to check more off, or hear the list?
Hear the list. Hear the list.
Here's what you have left. Move laundry to the dryer, pack gym gear, make sure I take medication today. Bobby, don't forget how important you are to your family. You do know how important taking your medication is. Please take it, and your blood pressure was 170/85. Not good. Check your pressure today and take medication. And here's what's checked. Leave food and water for Mr. Winston. Keep it up. Would you like to check more off?
No.
Okay. Goodbye for now.
Thank you so much.
All right, so now we're going to open it up for the judges. I'll leave that on, Bobby. Leave that on.
Thank you for such a great presentation.
Well, thank you.
Could you tell me about, are there any other products on the market, and how is your product any different?
So yes, there are products on the market. The difference is, and we could go over through the presentation, the difference is that we're connecting to the Google, the Alexa, and we have the pieces that will allow the care team to work with you so that you're connecting to your family. We also have the digital piece actually works with your automobile as well. You have a Alexa, so if you walk out of the house and you get to your car, it will still tell you you need to take your medication. We also have the database that we use is actually the database that pharmacists use in their practice. You go to a retail pharmacy, we've got it. So it would actually tell you about recalls. And that's one of the more important pieces as well.
How does someone register that they actually took their medicine? If I'm on a caretaker to someone, and we've got this set up, do they have to click something or mark it? Like, how do I know that they've actually taken their medicine?
So what happens is that you set it up previous, and with the medication that you take, you type that in and you set all of that up. You set the timers up, etc. All of that is set up prior to. So during the week, the day, or whatever, it automatically begins to kick into gear when the medication is not tapped out, if you will. It'll say, I took my medication, and then it continues to kind of go forward and alert you and your family.
So you're saying you just verbally tell the program that you took the medicine?
Yeah, you have to either verbally, yes, or you have to go to the app and say, I've taken my medication. So this is, kind of like you would do with a pill, pill box. You've got to at least do something. But once it's set up, the one time it's set up, then it begins to automatically, do those things for you.
Can you, does it check you, or it has to trust you, right? It has to trust the input you're giving the app.
That you put it in for, you have to put it into the app. Now, when it comes to the care team, if it's a senior person, perhaps not as familiar with technology, someone else puts that in for them. If it's a youth or young person who needs to take their medication, the same thing. But yet, once it's set up, it's like automatic.
My question was, if you have 10,000 customers, which you're saying is about $40,000 of revenue, do you have an estimated overhead for that $40,000? What's it going to cost you to manage that business?
So the $39,000 was, with the exception of a pre-seeded company. In other words, there is 300,000 to 500,000. We have a special kind of agreement that once we reach that particular piece, we're probably going to go to a Series A, which is probably close to $1 million to $2 million. So we have some things in the pipeline.
Well, let me ask the question a little different. What's your gross margin on your sales?
Gross margin here is at $3.99, we think we'll be able to take most of that. What will happen is we have our individual consumer side and we have institutional side. And our institutional side will take care of some of the things that we have. So I would say we're probably at closer to 75%, maybe.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Mike, do you have any questions? I think you're the only one that can hear him.
Do you hear him talking? Yeah. Hey, Jared, turn up Mike.
I beg your pardon? They're at a similar price point. Some of them are freeware. So yeah, we're about close. But I think the biggest difference here is the fact that there's no market leader. And at that particular point, we were able to go into the market and really have a good chance of becoming either that market leader. There's no market leader in this particular application, especially in the niche market that we chose, the diabetic and the hypertension.
I have one more question real quick. Is there any intellectual property in your software that you've been able to protect?
We don't have any yet. We're thinking about having a piece of hardware that acts like a pill box. And then we're also doing the Internet of Things, which is the way it connects to smart objects. So we're working on something like that. We'll be working on something like that. And no other product of our competition has that at this point.
So just wanted to ask about, I saw your team, it looks like you have some very talented people on your team. Who has some background or experience in this lane?
I do.
Can you talk a little bit about that real quick?
So
You got 30 seconds, Bobby.
Okay. I've been in the information system side for almost 15 years. I've worked for installing EHR, which is electronic health records, with ProMedica, Monroe County Health Department. I've also worked with HCR as a data analyst. So, yeah, and I know a lot about the electronic records, health records.
All right, thank you, sir. All right, so next up we have Tanae, and she has a phenomenal business idea as well. I'm really excited to see her presentation. We are pulling that up. And so Tanae came out Saturday with no presentation really, and then just was like, I'm gonna crush this, I ain't even worried about it. And so come on up here, Tanae, while we get you ready to rock and roll.
So good evening, everyone. My name's Tanae Lyles, and I'm going to be pitching as well as introducing my business that will help a disenfranchised group of individuals in Northwest Ohio. Wolfpack Amadeus is an adult day service and non-medical transportation agency for individuals with developmental disabilities. So before you ask yourself, is this something I really want to be involved with, or why should I invest in this? Let me tell you a little bit about myself. Growing up, I didn't have a voice. I felt like I didn't have a voice, mainly because I was extremely shy. But later on in life, I discovered and was diagnosed with anxiety and depression. It wasn't until my years at Bowling Green State University that I began to explore it by using therapy and meditation to help me figure out the person I want to be. Also during that time, I started working for a residential facility for individuals with developmental disabilities, and I fell in love with every individual that I worked with, not because I was good at the job or it gave me a lot of money, but simply because I made a connection with them. And I understood that sometimes you need a little bit of extra help to have your voice heard. So Wolfpack Amadeus, like I said, is an adult day service and a non-medical transportation agency for individuals with developmental disabilities. While I will only be working with individuals with developmental disabilities, my primary focus will be on the higher behavioral acuity. So those are the individuals that are a little more aggressive. Those are the individuals that might not get the support because people are afraid to work with them. We're gonna utilize pet therapy, sensory fulfillment, volunteerism at local animal shelters, leisurely activities, and mentally supportive activities to help them cope. And each day is going to be structured around each of our individuals. It's not going to be a set day for everyone. Whatever each person's needs is, that's what we're going to provide for them. So why am I passionate about this? I've been in the field for over 10 years, and I've met so many individuals that I've made connections with, and I absolutely love them. This is actually one of my ladies that I work with. So I love it. I have a feel for them, and I want to give them a voice. So like I said, 10 years of experience. Like I said, I will mainly be working with individuals with developmental disabilities and a higher behavioral acuity. I also am a certified behavior intervention instructor. So what that is, any person that comes into our agency, I teach them how to work with crisis intervention. I teach them the moves they need to have, the moves they need to take to protect themselves as well as the individual. As all of us have noticed in the past year, COVID-19 has put a big damper on all of our livelihoods, and that's also been the case for our individuals. So we have individuals that have been out of work, out of day programming for over a year and a half, simply because there aren't enough providers in the agency. So I would love to throw my hat in there and give them an opportunity to have an adult day program service. So currently in the Wood County area, the current market is there are 906 individuals that are receiving services for developmental disabilities. And of that, there are only 10 adult day program services in Wood County. I would love to throw my hat in there so that they can have another opportunity for an adult day program servicer. What makes my business unique is Wolfpack Amadeus is going to be the only adult day service that provides pet therapy, person-centered planning, and emotional and mental support. And while I am going to start in Wood County, this project and this business can reach out to Lucas County. So right here, I know you're wondering, like, how's the money going to come in? This is a 3-month profit that you can get from anyone receiving services. The state and the federal government pays for the services that you're using. So right here, I have 1 person versus 5 people. So if I have 1 person and they're receiving adult day services and non-medical transportation, after 3 months, I can bring in a total of $9,637.20. If I have 5 individuals with adult day services and non-medical transportation, I can bring in $48,000 in a 3-month time period. So while I'm only starting with 1 and 5 person, as my business grows and I have more individuals that come in, I can get more individuals to be a part of the program. So if you all decide to invest in me, there's 3 specific things that I am looking for. 50% of the vehicle payment for the non-medical transportation so that we can pick up individuals from their home and bring them to the day program. Renovations of the brick and mortar, so that means creating the sensory room, creating the pet therapy room, creating the leisurely room. Excuse me. And then lastly, I would like to ask for money for the technological fees, so the iPads, the tablets, the computers, and the television. So a total of $35,000 is what I'm asking for. So thank you for your time and your patience. I am very thankful for this program. I've learned so much. And yes, thank you.
So where are you at in the process of getting this started?
So I recently have my LLC right now. I have everything that I need to actually start my certification through the Department of Developmental Disabilities in Ohio. So I've already looked at brick and mortar locations, come up with rents, looked at the prices of vehicles. So all I'm doing right now is starting to get my certification. That could be between 3 to 7 months to get the certification.
So you've already done a lot of the paperwork, the back work to
Yes.
get you ready to launch.
Yes.
How would you get your clients?
I would pick them up in the vehicle. Like, what do you mean, how would I
I'm
get
sorry.
them?
So you talked about how many people were.
Oh, yeah. I get what you're saying.
How would you go about getting people to be a part of your program?
So like I said, there are 906 individuals right now in Wood County that are receiving services, and there is a wait list of individuals that are looking for providers. So once I get my certification and start connecting with the county board, I will have an immediate list of individuals that I can provide services for.
Where are you going to get the animals for your shelter today?
Well, there are area organizations that provide pet care. So initially we will utilize those individuals and use their pets. But my plan is I'm going to invest in my own dog, Baxter, so that he can become an emotional support dog. So I will initially start with these agencies, but then I'm going to get my dog certified so that he can come to work with me in a selfish way. I know it's cool that he can provide those services, but I can also bring him to work with me.
You've really got my mind thinking of a lot of questions, but where's the evidence base behind your therapy now? Have you done some of this therapy, and do you have some evidence-based results that you could share with us?
I couldn't tell you specifically any sort of author, but I have researched I've seen findings of how pet therapy can contribute to like de-stressing yourself and things like that. And like I also said, in the current agency that I'm working for, we have had emotional support dogs, and I've seen the remarkable things that they do with our individuals. I've seen very aggressive individuals and very anxious individuals get around a dog and their mood completely changes. I mean, while the research and science is there, me visually seeing it, I I totally accepted it and went along with it.
My wife is in the audience and she worked for a horse therapy group. And,
Yeah, no, that's actually really exciting because I've talked to a few other providers that use like horse therapy, and I've seen that, and it's tremendous.
How long, when you have a client, how many hours a day are you doing this therapy?
So we have to, according to DOD regulations, they have to be at our agency for at least 5 hours. I mean, depending on each person's needs, they pay us in 15-minute increments. So they want you to be there for at least 5 hours. It can go up to 8 hours. So ideally, I would like my program to be open from 9 a.m. to at least 3 or 4.
And is that every day?
Monday to Friday.
So it is every day then. So if you have a client, they're going to come, say 9 to 3, 9 to 4 every day.
Yeah, I will get that set amount. So every day that they come, I will get paid for that amount.
Thank you.
If you're gonna have them during that time, is there some sort of special certification you have to go through to feed them and know dietary situations like that?
It's very person specific. So as long as I have a plan of each of the individual and I know the services I need to provide for them, I would just teach those to any of my employees. So like I said, I'm already certified in the crisis intervention training. I would train them on that, but then I also, in the process of me getting my DOD certification, I have to have a set plan for how I'm going to train my individuals. So I will have a set curriculum for any new employee coming in.
And you probably said it and I missed it. When would you have that DOD certification?
I'm giving myself between 3 and 7 months just because I'm not really sure, they will have to approve the process. They say give it 30 days after you have everything submitted, but in case they have some questions or some feedback, I just want to have at least 7 months so I can get everything solidified before I start the business.
You want to ask Mike if he's got any questions?
Hey Mike, how you doing?
$48,000 revenue estimate for a quarter. How many employees do you need to be able to
It really is person specific. So it depends on each of the person's needs. If somebody is a 1-to-1 ratio, I would have to make sure that I have enough clientele. But right now I'm anticipating if I have 5 individuals, I would at least want myself and another employee. So 2 employees, so it's a ratio of 2 to 3 or 2 to 2.
That's it.
Thank
you.
Janae.
Yeah, guys. Yes.
All right, nice. I love it. Thank you so much, Janae. Okay, so kind of going off of the animal therapy. When my wife and I, my wife is in the audience, when we first got married, she loved to cuddle with her dog, and not me. So that's what it says. So, all right, next up, we've got. I don't know if it's changed or not. So we've got Sine, who will be coming up next. She has a phenomenal idea as well, and so I'm very excited for you to present. We're getting it pulled up and ready to rock and roll for you.
Hello, how y'all doing? My name is Sine Smith, and I am looking forward to opening up Divine Empowerment. Divine Empowerment is a nonprofit organization that focuses on uplifting, empowering, and unifying the family by providing them with resources such as youth programs, counseling services, tutoring, and parenting classes. I am passionate about divine empowerment. It is shown through my ongoing education. Right now I am in a dual master's program. I've also worked with families in need for 7 years. A little bit about myself. I was raised by my great-grandmother, so not only did I see the hardships that the families endure, but I've also experienced them as well. In 2016 was the road of depression, but it was also the road for me birthing my biggest blessing. In 2016, I lost my great-grandmother. A couple months later, I've lost my aunt, my dad's sister. And in the beginning of 2017, I lost another great-grandmother of mine. August of 2017, I was 6 months pregnant with my second son, and I lost their father due to gun violence. So not only did I experience grief, depression, and financial hardship, but, anything that you could think of, I experienced it. When I got the strength to overcome this, I realized that this didn't just happen to me, but it happened for me to help someone else. I wanted to create, Divine Empowerment is creating lifelong connections by creating social change. We not only want to help mothers and children, but we also want to help fathers as well. And that's what makes us different from other nonprofit organizations. We also want to touch bases on the families after they're done with parenting classes or tutoring and counseling service to see how they're progressing. We want to have a lifelong connection to them to let them know that they always have support with us. Serving the families, we're going to offer the services provided as well as host back to school events, community outreach events, and helping the under-resourced families as well. In 2022, we plan on providing these services to 10 families. And I'm also looking forward to working with Mom's House as well as the Pregnancy Center. What we would need, we want to operate out of our own space. We also would need help with our marketing and advertising in order to connect with these families. And we also would need some help with legal resources to be recognized as a 501c3. My experience and expertise in this, I currently have a bachelor's degree in psychology. Like I said, I'm getting my dual master's degree. One is in clinical mental health counseling, and the other is in school counseling. I have led community events. I did a back to school drive to help 10 children who lost their father due to gun violence as well. I've also worked with Wake High School with Young Women of Excellence, and I gave the less fortunate hygiene products as well as winter accessories. By doing this, I organized different fundraisers as well. And I've taught for 7 years. I was a preschool teacher for 4. Prior to that, I worked at a treatment facility with adolescents who were taken away from their parents as well. My vision for divine empowerment is to give the community strength. And by love, hand-on care, and help, I believe that we can do this. I also want to thank TYRO for this opportunity to be seen, to be heard, and also teaching me how to embrace fear, meaning face everything and recover. Thank you.
So, in your past experience, how do you see the direct connect? So you've had some teaching experience, you've had some counseling experience. How do you see that playing into your future? How do you see that directly connecting to what you're talking about here today?
I believe that in our community, we need children look for, and families as well, look for someone that they can relate to. So I believe that since I can relate to them, they're going to be open to the services as well as I can connect with them because I can relate to them.
Good. You didn't mention any kind of dollar amount. You mentioned a list of needs. Mm-hmm. Do you have any idea what it would take to fund the launch of your program?
Yes. You mean the dollar amount or just what it would take? I believe that for the first 6 months, $3,500 would help me with legal resources and the operating costs. So for the first 6 months.
Thank you for sharing your vision and your passion with us. Do you have any indicators you would be looking for to know that your business was being successful?
Yes, through the services, like of course, connecting with the children with tutoring, the parenting classes, and things like that. But once, like I said, they're done with it, I want to see how they're progressing in the future. So I feel like their progression, their personal development would help us indicate whether our programs and services is being successful.
Nice job. Thank you. You mentioned something about servicing 10 families in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Does that mean you're like not looking to go broad open everybody and everybody? You're looking specifically to help certain families and limiting the numbers and doing a really deep dive with those particular families, or just give me more thoughts?
No, honestly, it was like a general, like 10 family. I don't want to say like 10, a mother, a father, and children. So it was kind of general, like some of them will be children and some of them will be parents. So maybe 5. I know I say I would start off with maybe 4 children tutoring and maybe 5 to 6 parents with parenting classes and stuff like that. So it was a general, like a broad general point that I made when I said 10 families.
I want to thank you for your presentation. For me, for you to say it didn't just happen to me, it happened for me, that's the kind of thing a champion would say.
Thank you.
So, I want to just, now you're cracking me up a little bit. All right, we'll get, you mentioned trying to connect with the fathers as you do this. I know that's pretty difficult. Can you give us some example of how you're going to do that?
I know that it is a nonprofit organization called the Program Inc. that actually works with fatherless young men. So I will want to connect with different organizations that can bring in those fathers and help them.
I want to give Mike a chance, but I want to talk before him.
Okay.
Mike's used to that. You mentioned you ran some fundraisers. You didn't talk a lot about your past business experience. So can you explain on your fundraisers how you administrated them, governed over them, and how you ran them? Just give me some idea of your business experience.
Yes, so one of the fundraisers, the back to school drive, I sold cookies. And what I did was, because I was currently working at a child care center. So I'm still connected with that child care center where I, still connected with the families. And I printed out flyers. I did like Facebook marketing. And then another thing that I did was a car wash at Deb's on the east side, I want to say on Navarre Avenue. So I did that as well, and I had volunteers as well to help me do this. And that's one of the ways that I fundraised.
Great, thank you. Mike, can we turn it over to you now? You have a question?
Yeah, so I've got Mike's question right here. We're having some technical difficulties, so I will be speaking on Mike's behalf. So what differentiations do you have in your service from other current community service providers, and how much research have you done on that?
One of the things that, like I had mentioned before, that makes us different is we're going to have a lifelong connection with families. A lot of nonprofit organizations, once they're done tutoring children or parenting classes are done, they're just done with the families. We're not going to do that. We want the families to know that maybe 2 years from now you might need our help, and we're still going to have our hands out ready for you guys and supporting you.
All right, any other questions?
Thank you very much. You did a great job.
Thank you.
Great job, Samantha. Okay, so next up we have Thomas, who will be presenting his business, and I'm really excited to see that. He crushed it on last Saturday, and so Thomas, if you want to come on up. All right, I'll let you know when you start.
All right, so our experience, resume, and career counseling, 4 different packages that we offer, depending on where that person is in life. First, I have what we call the bronze. That's a resume and 2 cover letters. Next, I have my silver package, which goes for $300. This is my most popular package by far. Resume, cover letter, ongoing support to your employee in a behavioral mock interview. I can touch base on that in a little bit. My goal package, resume, 2 cover letters, ongoing support to employment, LinkedIn optimization, behavioral and a behavioral mock interview, and of course, ongoing support until you're employed. And of course, I have my platinum package, which is resume, 2 cover letters, ongoing support to employment, LinkedIn optimization, behavioral mock interview, and a yearly resume review. Let me brag a little bit about my company here. Right now, I have a return on investment for my company at 91%. I have a really low overhead. Like I said, I'm in my basement. But I do have a 90% job placement rate. I have a 60% growth rate in my first 2 years. I offer ATS optimization. Now, ATS is called an applicant tracking system, and that's how employers are finding you. This is something I did when I worked with Lucas County Ohami's jobs. It's by keywords. That's how people find employers. That's something I've been doing a long time, and it's really more of a science than anything else. I offer one-on-one support, ongoing emotional support, and links to social services. So, when you are getting a career, okay, there might be a lot of challenges in your life. It could be drug addiction. It could be mental illness. It could be, it could be a whole bunch. It could be, anyway, lots and lots of challenges in people's lives. So that's one thing that I work with. If there's challenges in someone's life, maybe if there's housing insecurity or whatever that may be, you have to kind of take care of those things first. Behavioral interview support. Now, behavioral interviewing, okay, this is actually a science. It's based on the STAR program, or the STAR study, situation, task, action, and result. That's how behavioral interviews go. I did a whole bunch of those when I was working in conjunction with Chrysler at Ohami's jobs. And one thing I like is everyone needs a resume. Just about everyone needs a resume. Additional revenue streams. This is something I'm working on, and one reason that I'm here. First of all, there's 7.9 billion people on Earth, so there's a lot of clients. Colleges and universities. That's something else that I could do, and I think I can make it real big. So, also franchise opportunities. So there can be an Are You Experienced resume Chicago? Are You Experienced resume New York? Are You Experienced resume London? It could be a whole bunch of things. So I think there's a good franchise opportunities. I'd like to get a resume bank and automated resume system. That's something that's going to take some doing. Social campaigns, I've been doing this a little bit, so YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook. I'm really trying to create a marketing plan. That's one thing I need help with is the marketing plan. I thought a resume writing school, instructional videos you could buy. How about a yearly membership to create some passive income? So here's what I'm looking for. A robust website is about $3,500, or however much you want to spend. A marketing campaign at $3,000, $300 monthly. Accounting, LLC attorney, things like that, $500. I would like to get part-time help at $16. That's a grand total of $7,000. Let's look at my profit and loss. Let's look at the money. I had a gross of my first year of $2,345. I netted $2,095. Return on investment was 89%. Year 2, gross profit $3,850, net $366.50, ROI of 92%, 60% growth rate in that second year. Year number 3, if I keep going the way I'm going now, I have projected gross of $6,000, a net of $5,000. I really want to put some money back into this business. That's an ROI of 83 with about a 64% growth rate. Interesting facts, average client makes $90,000 a year. I have a 4.9 Google review rating. All right, judges, who wants to make money with me? I watched like 6 episodes of Shark Tank, and this is a wakeboard boat. That's what I want to get once I get this up. Anyway, thank you. Oh.
Well, I did watch your video, and I saw you on the side of that boat.
Yeah. Did you? Oh, yeah.
Doing a barefoot water skiing, advertising his business on the video, so.
Yeah, that hurt the next day.
Was it worth it?
Yes.
He kind of fell quickly. He went, no. Thank you for your presentation and your energy. A question I had as you're presenting, are you thinking of staying at the Zeph Center at your current job and do this as a second job, or is this thinking of you hoping to be able to go this full time at some point?
Oh, if I could do this full time, that's what I'd like to do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
In this local market, how many other different resume sort of assistance companies are there out there?
There's like 4 or 5 if you Google them. I think there's a lot of people that do it independently like me, but there's only about 4 or 5.
You said the average income was 90K.
Yes, sir.
Is there a median income?
You know what?
I'm sorry, a mode.
Quite frankly, I really haven't done that math yet. The problem with the thing with the 90K is I have done some big hitters. So, like, I had a doctor, he made 280. I had a salesman that was doing 350,000 a year. So probably, I would say the average person is probably around 60,000 a year. Because I have to account for my big hitters.
In case of, and you know this working at Zeph, people who are kind of struggling and trying to get into the workforce, how would someone like that take advantage of your, or would they be able to take advantage of your company's resources?
Well, here's one thing that I've been doing. I did not put this in the presentation. I got introduced to TYRO when I was giving a presentation at the Reentry Coalition. And so what I've been doing is for those people that are in need, I am scholarshiping 1 person a month. And I offer my time and my services are totally free. So that's one thing I'm looking to do. It's just 1 a month, but there's only 1 in me. But yeah, there has to be a giving back part of this business at some point.
Thank you, and I really appreciate that whole idea of generosity, because there's something to be said about that. My thought is, what will it take? How many clients do you think you're going to need to make this a full-time, this is what I do every day, my 8-hour-a-day job? What would be a ballpark? So, I mean, I know you've got a few of the bronze, a few of the silver, a few of the gold. I mean, if you just kind of averaged all those out,
okay.
Do you have any idea on how many clients it would take to make this a fully functioning?
If I could do 200 resumes in a year, 200
a
year, I think I could move towards independence if I was doing 200.
And obviously this is a turnover business.
Yes.
So that means every year you're going to have to come up with 200 new ones.
Yeah, but I've had people come back. I've had people come back before. Okay. Yeah, and then of course, so people, they change. A lot of people come back and say, "Hey, listen, you did my resume a year ago. I'm looking for another job. Can you come do it again?"
Gotcha.
Yeah. Oh, and I have this. Put my. Hello.
I'm actually talking for Mike, so you won't be
all right.
That's fine. But my question is, so you mentioned your Google review,
yes.
Right, at 4.9%.
Yes.
So you still need to talk into the mic, but you don't need to listen to that one that you just put down. Please talk into that mic.
Oh, okay, got it. This mic.
Yep. So the other one, keep it looped around your ear like you had it. Not that.
The one with the little white.
Yeah, it needs to have the microphone on it. Perfect. We'll just rock and roll like that. Yep, that's perfect. So, one of my questions for you is, you said that you were 4.9%. So, are you on like the second page of Google? Where, if somebody were to Google you, where would
23 reviews.
23 reviews. And are you like, if I Google resume building Toledo, Ohio, what place are you at?
Number 1.
Congratulations.
Any other questions?
Yeah. So those 4 or 5 different providers in the area, and can you talk a little bit about your differentiation?
Well, as far as I know, I'm the only one that offers ongoing support until you're employed. Here's the thing. Finding a job is a practice in frustration. Because if you look at it nationally, the national average is 250 applications for one job, okay? So, and this happens every time I'm working with someone, I work with them, I touch base with them weekly, and then they come to me and say, Tom, I haven't found a job yet. Well, how many jobs have you applied for? 7. And then I have to say, all right, we have to think of a process, because when you're not hearing back from these employers, people really take it personally, and it's not. I have lots of people that are like super qualified, right? But they just lack the frustration management process, and that's a big thing.
I've got one question from Mike too.
Yes.
We're running out of time, but what is your number one source for clients?
I have Google My Business, and the Google My Business has been revolutionary. All I did was boop, 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 put my name and address, gave me a website, cost me nothing.
So that's your number one source?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then one more time, what does ATS stand for?
Applicant Tracking System.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir. All right. Let's hear it one more time for all of our applicants this year. They crushed it. They did such a great job.
Great job.
Yeah, very good job. Even with the technical difficulties, you guys persevered, got some free time to kind of sell your story a little bit more. So that's amazing. I love it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of break. The judges are going to go back into the back room and look at their score sheets and kind of talk about it. And I'm going to go with them, and then we're going to tally it up. And yep, we have cookies. We've got some coffee back there. There's also some water. And then yeah, so just head back that way. You can kind of chill out, relax. I see Sinead's got her boys here, so they can have as many cookies as they want. So, all right. Yep, we'll be back here in about 10 to 12 minutes. We went back into the room, and everybody did such a phenomenal job. The judges were impressed with everybody. I was impressed with everybody. I'm sure the other participants were impressed with the other participants. I mean, it was just a phenomenal job. And I want to thank you so much for putting in the effort, for coming to all of the sessions in phase 1, for connecting with your mentors in phase 2, building out your business plan, answering those 12 questions, and then making it to phase 3 to tonight. So my hat is off to you for your determination, your perseverance, and stop not allowing mental blocks stop you from continuing to push. And so I want to thank you guys so much for everything that you've done thus far. So I'm going to turn it over to Al Caperna, who will kind of speak on behalf of all of the judges. And
You have to lower your voice to say
yeah, I think so. I felt more normal to do that than to say hi. So yeah, thank you so much, and here's Al.
Hey, we want to thank Brandon for being the MC tonight. Good job, Brandon. It's been an honor to be here. I want you to know that I've had the opportunity to review probably thousands of business plans doing this. I've helped 8 groups start Shark Tanks now, and I've been the judge, I think, over 35 times. We are not perfect as judges, okay? Can I just say it up front? We get a very small window to take a look at your life, which is really kind of not fair to you, but we have to make a decision in a short amount of time. So I want you to know that everybody that goes through this later on says, gosh, I went so much farther than I would have thought I could have gone because I went through this experience. I grew, I was challenged, I understood my target better, where I was going better. I'm better because I went through it. So I want to congratulate all of you. Give everybody who's in it a round of applause. So the 4 here are already winners, right? We started with 46 people, right? So you're in the top 10% of the class. Got to do that math quick, right? So we're going to go from, we very quickly, we rank these presentations and what we know about your presentation in order.
Sorry, you're like the participants, so I'm going to hang this over your ear.
I know you guys love this too, didn't you? Having a thing hanging from your ear while you're trying to present. Then he just pulled it off. Brandon, stop it. Okay, we're going to call you up in order of who we felt gave the best presentation last. So the winner will be the last person I call up, okay? The one that's going to get the award. We have a cash award for everybody that participated. Fourth place gets $500. So hopefully that'll help you with your time. Bobby Johnson, Bobby, we called you up as fourth place. So you can cash that. You got to chase Brandon down because that's not. Don't take that check to the bank.
Yeah, wait right there. I'm gonna take your picture.
Do you have the awards, Brandon?
Here's your award as well. Okay.
So thank you, Bobby, for your participation and your presentation. We're excited for your future.
Thank you.
So third place, we're proud to announce is Sine. So Sine, thank you for the work that you did. You were the only one tonight that got me to cry. She got $1,000. All right. And you do want to congratulate our youngest entrepreneurs in the crowd.
I'll say early got $1,000.
He wants some percent of that. He knows he helped. Okay. Second place, $2,500. Tanea. So thank you. We really appreciate the work you're doing. We love your concept.
Thank you.
And wait a minute, who's going to leave?
That leaves just one
Just
more.
one more. Thomas, $5,000. Thank you, Thomas, for your work. And all the people that you helping them get to where they're going. So thank you, Thomas. So we can have all of you come back up. We're getting, you go. If you didn't get theirs. We can have everybody come back up, maybe stand here. We'll get a picture with you, the judges behind you.
Yeah, come on up here.
Ron, Kathy.
Congratulations.
Give them all a round of applause again.
All right.
Brought the house down. So who wants to, Brandon, you want to close us out now?
Great job, everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah, one more round of applause. You all did such a phenomenal job, and I want to again thank you for your dedication, your determination, and perseverance to continue through. And naturally, we are all here to support you guys. I want you to stay connected with your sport mentors or find somebody to mentor you. Mentorship is the best thing that you can do, right? Every single pro athlete has what? A coach, right? And so find a coach that's going to help steer you, find your blind spots, and tell you where to improve. That's the best thing that you can do. Alongside with finding. Yeah.
He said something that reminded me, and I saw Mike in the background. Mike is the president of SCORE in Toledo. He said that anybody that wants to continue to be mentored to help you start your business, SCORE is offering that. And anybody, the judges or anybody that wants to invest in your business will contact SCORE, and they'll get in touch with you that way. So if you want to stay, have someone help walk you through this, contact Mike or your SCORE mentor, and they'll continue to walk with you. So thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you, Mike.
Who are TYROs? Come on.
I'm a
I got
TYRO.
two. Who's a TYRO? All right. What that means is you are a TYRO. There's TYROs all over the United States and all over the world. You're not just a TYRO on your own island. You have a support group. You have people all over the world. We have entrepreneurs, TYROs, who have their own trucking companies, welding companies, restaurants, catering companies. You are among people who have had a dream, and people like this have come around and supported them. You are not alone. When you need support, TYRO up and call us.
Yeah.
Right?
Awesome.
All right.
Great job, everybody.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much, judges, One Voice Foundation, Metzger's, The Ridge Project, TYRO Support Services. I just want to give a huge shout out to all of you that contributed financially and your time to make this night happen. Thank you so much, Rust Belt, for catering and for also having a building for us to meet at. Rust Belt, go shop. All right, thank you guys so much. Have a great night.